This is Titletown Sound.
If Joe Flacco is worth a fourth-round pick, Antonio Brown might be worth a negative fifth-round pick.
Again, I'm just a fat dude sitting on the couch. But I watch a lot of football.
I'm here to kick ass and make steaks, and I'm all out of steaks.
Year one, he was like, all right, guys, I don't know what Dom taught you, but you need to have 11 guys on the field.
A trained orangutan could have done a better job than Ron Jones. And not even well trained.
Welcome, Packers fans, to the Titletown Sound podcast. This is episode 219 of the podcast, the podcast for fans of the Green Bay Packers and fans of television. I mean, today is National Television Day, from what I understand. Well, that's what Kevin told me. I didn't do any further research. And now a man who, look at all of us. Well, look at me and James. Men who love television, love to sit in front of it. My co-host, James Corsmo. Well, you might as well, Kevin, but you're skinny.
I mean, everybody's skinny compared to me, so it's okay.
James, quickly, if you had to pick your favorite television show of all time, what is it?
Breaking Bad.
Nice. A show that I still haven't watched, unfortunately. And now my other co-host, a man who is wearing a child's cheese head, Kevin Christopher. Has nothing to do with the theme tonight, but
Less strain on the neck than the adult cheese head. This is like one of those Baby Bell lights. No, but actually, Chris, I will say, I was a television major in college. And I also, growing up, you may remember this, during the summers, I had a schedule of television shows that I would watch. Right? So it would be all mapped out for me for the course of the day. It was very American Gladiators heavy.
Oh, my God. I love American Gladiators.
A written schedule. This was not your casual TV guide owner. This man made his own.
This is a written,
like Excel spreadsheets before they were a thing.
Well, the spreadsheet was done by hand on loose leaf paper. Yes, this was his own schedule.
And real quick, my favorite show of all time, a Matt Groening classic, Futurama.
Never really got into Futurama. I should. I just didn't dedicate the time.
Yeah, me either.
Terrific.
Me either.
It's terrific.
All right. My favorite television show, now that anybody asks me, is The Office. And I pretty much watch it, pretty much every day. And it's great.
That's probably number 2 for me.
And by the way, if you're listening to the podcast audio version only, we know James's sound is a little bit muffled. Kind of sounds like he's on the telephone. We're working on that. We got him a new computer, so he's visually stunning. I mean, look at it. Gorgeous. So
I'm not wearing pants because of it.
That part is fixed. Fixed shortly.
I feel like that's all inaccurate. I'm not. Stunning is not the adjective for me.
Well, to each his or her own. Okay. All right, before we get into the body of the show, we're going to do this week's sound off.
It's time to sound off.
Greg Jennings must be getting lonely. Maybe not enough people are paying attention to him. How do I know this? Because he's again commenting about Aaron Rodgers. In a recent interview, he basically said he didn't understand why Rodgers was upset with him or why they weren't friends, despite Jennings making comments time and time again about how Rodgers wasn't a very good teammate. Well, it all stems back to a game against the 49ers when Jennings was in his contract year. And I guess Rodgers maybe didn't feel like Jennings was giving it his all, or maybe it was just a joke. But Rodgers made the comment, yeah, you guys should pick him up next year. Jennings has never let that go. In fact, he says that he wants to meet with Rodgers to tell him how much that comment hurt him. And that's why he said all these things. It's not, as he says, it's not because he wants TV time. Right, Greg. And I don't want nachos. Greg Jennings, again, is trying to make himself relevant because, he's not relevant anymore. And the way he does that is through comments about Aaron Rodgers, whether it's to say that he's not a good teammate, or whether it's to make insinuations about his leadership, or now whether it's trying to reconcile with him. Apparently, Jennings saw Rodgers at a Bucs game. Rodgers said, "What are you doing here?" And Jennings said he wanted to talk to him. Well, Rodgers said, Well, my number hasn't changed, but apparently the two still haven't talked. And for Rodgers, why would he? The guy's just looking for publicity off his back. And Greg Jennings, well, keep trying, buddy, but you're still not quite relevant. James, Greg Jennings is one of your favorite former Packers. I know you really like him.
I loathe that man. I loathe him so and it's so sad because he was so good. Like he was such a great wide receiver. Probably he's in the top 2 wide receivers Aaron Rodgers ever had.
Kevin, are you running a motorboat in your basement?
Yeah, you guys hear that?
A little bit.
I mean, I know this show's bad, but the garbage disposal, is it really worthy of that?
Yeah, he was. And unlike others who have been able to, ride off into the sunset with grace, he pretty much rode off into the sunset and chucked a Molotov cocktail over his shoulder as he left.
It's just what really irritates me the most is it's so obvious that he's just thirsty, and it's just such an obvious thing that he feels like he should be Rodgers' friend, and Rodgers is like, no, dude, you've used every chance you can to talk crap about me everywhere all over the world, and Greg's like,
but he wants it both ways too, right? He wants to be his friend, but every time there's a microphone without someone, or a camera without somebody sitting in front of it, he wants to get on and tell them how bad of a teammate Aaron Rodgers was. So you can't have it both ways, Greg. Right.
You can't, talk about what a horrible dude somebody is and then be like, dude, why do you not like me?
Right. That's not how it works.
It's a little disingenuous.
A little, yeah. I mean, that's all he is, Kev. Greg Jennings is walking disingenuity.
That was my word of the day. I just wanted to get that in.
It was on the calendar today.
Disingenuous.
That's actually word of the day: toilet paper.
Disingenuosity.
Disingenuousness.
Disingenuosity is actually the band name that was rejected from The Office.
All right, we got Joe Thompson is in our live chat, and he says it's a big statement game Sunday. Let's let them know we are here and we are ready. Joe, as much as I wish it mattered, the fact that we are here, it is yet to affect a game. But you're right that it is a statement game. And Kevin, going in to San Francisco on the road to play a team that I think all of us are surprised is the winningest team in the NFC. How important is this game for the Packers to win, or is it important?
I think it would be extra sweet to win the game. It's going to be a super tough game. So if they win it, it means that they deserve to win it, of course. I'm a little bit concerned because I'm not sure the Packers really match up that great. The run thing it got me a little bit nervous. I'm probably gonna have to change my underpants several times, and not in a good way during that game. So I don't know. What was the question again? I mean, I've provided my support. Now I just need to give you my answer. But what was the question?
Yeah, so how important is this game for the Packers to win?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it's like a 6. 10 being very important, 1 being obviously it would be very nice to win. This would be a huge win, right? But I don't think it makes or breaks the season. I think they're in a good position right now where if they lose this game, it's not the end of the world.
So James, this does have implications for home field during the playoffs. And quite honestly, I can't believe that with a rookie head coach, we're able to consider that there are home field playoff implications with this game.
It's crazy.
How important is it that the Packers win so that they hold that advantage over San Francisco, or do you think that's not as important?
Oh, I think it's very important. I mean, if the Packers can somehow look, their schedule after this week isn't exactly the gauntlet. After San Francisco, they go to New York and play the Giants, who, it's the Giants, and then they play the Washington Dan Snyders, and then they finish the season against, I forget the order, I think it's Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit. Those are all winnable games, like some of them extremely winnable. So
it's Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit. You're exactly right.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they can beat San Francisco here, the path is there for them to get a first round bye and home field. I mean, New Orleans is going to be tough, but I mean, it's there, and they need to take advantage of it.
And I think that even, sorry, I was just going to say, I think even at their current record and current position, even a loss to San Francisco, and they're still in that conversation. Obviously, they don't control their destiny.
Sure, they're not. Yeah, you're right. They're not out of the conversation by any means, but it'll make it that much easier, And
yeah, if you win this game, you control your destiny.
Plus, people have been talking for the last 2 months about San Francisco being the dominant team in the NFL, and it's their year and it's their time, and it'd be nice to just kind of shut them up a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody predicted San Francisco was going to be this good at the beginning of the year. This is a bit of a shock, probably to everybody, including the 49ers themselves, but they look really good. So I guess my first question is, what does the offense have to do to beat this top-ranked 49ers defense? Like, where do we match up well? James, what do you think the offense has to do?
Well, I think they need to give the ball to Aaron Jones. Then they need to give the ball to Aaron Jones. And then just for a change of pace, they should probably give the ball to Aaron Jones. The 49ers pass defense is really good. Like they're legit, and their rush defense is really good too. But Aaron Jones is just that special of a player that he can, if you can get him going and get him out of the backfield making catches and getting 5-6 yards of carry or 3-4 yards of carry even against a really good team, that's going to open things up for Aaron Rodgers and the offense. I think a wide receiver at some point besides Devontae Adams is going to have to step up and really take control of a game. This is the game that it needs to happen, I think. I think Alan Lazard or Kumaro or somebody needs to just step up and be like, look, this is it, and just go take the bull by the horns. But
to an extent, I think Aaron Rodgers has to let another receiver do that as well.
That's true. I mean, and the floor needs to help too with play calls that aren't specific for Adams. And Rodgers definitely needs to start looking to other guys for sure. You're right, but I mean, just Aaron Jones, play action bombs to Danny Vitale. Why the hell not?
And it's working. Like that's the thing that game plan works. And here's the thing about the Niners. So they have a very good defense, but they do give up 4.7 yards per carry in the rushing game. So that can be exploited, and that's against all the teams they've played. The Packers are a very good running team, and when you've got Aaron Rodgers under center, that good running game is more of a threat because you're not stacking the box. It's impossible because they will pick you apart if you do. And that's the thing that I think a good game plan. And Kevin, how important is it? Excuse me. It's offense
that came with a prize
that they had to prepare for this team, because that makes a huge your toughest game of the year, and you were gifted a bye right before it. And we didn't know how important this bye would be at the time.
It actually came at almost the perfect time. So it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, I mean, this is, as a first-year head coach, there are no coming off the bye stats for Matt LaFleur. So let's see.
He's undefeated coming off the bye.
Right.
I think undefeated as well, but you focus on the silver lining, which is nice. Coming off the bye, it seems like it's going to be an advantage. Traveling, not so much of an advantage, but with the extra time, hopefully, that's, I don't know. Hopefully it's, we haven't seen in the past, we haven't seen this year what we've seen in the past from the Packers the past few years, which was the primetime duds. Right. We've seen pretty decent primetime performances this year, knock on wood. So if that continues, then, that's why I say the game is a 6 out of 10 on the must-win scale, because they could lose this game by, 2 or 3 points. And, to say it's a devastating loss would be an overstatement.
And on the other hand, they go into the game and I hate myself because I do this every week, because NFL power rankings mean nothing. Yet every week I watch to see where the Packers are in the power rankings.
I do the same thing, man.
I can't help myself. This is the kind of game, this will put them at number 1 or number 2 if they can go into San Francisco and beat the team that has been consistently 1 or 2 in the power rankings. And again, at the end of the season, that means absolutely nothing, except it makes the fan bases feel good when their teams are at the top. And the fact that the Packers aren't in the top 5 is ridiculous, but that's another story.
I like it. I like my team with a chip on their shoulder playing underdog. So overlook us. That's cool.
All right, so we talked about what the offense can do, and I think we all agree the running game needs to be front and center, and then the Packers need to use that running game to work off the play action and get a couple of big plays. But can this defense stop the running game of San Francisco? We know that's been their Achilles heel. Can they stop that running game without Garoppolo dinking and dunking all down the field on them, which he's prone to do? James?
Yes, I mean. I don't know if Bright is going to play. It sounds like he's hurt. I think they can. I mean, they did a really good job, or a fairly good job, against Christian McCaffrey, who is probably the best running back in the league, at least in my opinion he is. So, I mean, I don't see why they can't do the same thing against Matt Breida if he plays and whoever else. I'm tired, so I'm drawing a blank on who the other guy is. But
the running back?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie.
The guy that used to play for the Falcons, I forget his name. But yeah, I mean,
I looked it up for true or false to do my questions, but I don't retain much knowledge anymore.
We have a reputation on the show of doing zero research, and by God, I'm not going to be the one to break that rule.
Is Tevin Coleman that you're talking about?
That would be the dude, Tevin Coleman. Kevin Tolman, as I call him. No, I do. I think they can. Garoppolo is Garoppolo. He's going to dink and dunk. So you need to shut down the running game first, and just hope that Alexander and King and the safeties can hold down the receivers.
Kevin, what do you think this defense has to do to win this game against the Niners?
If they can do to the 49ers running game what they did to the Panthers, maybe a little bit better, I think they have a good chance. In that, McCaffrey, as James said, was very good running back. They held him to a
100 yards. But
he did not eat them alive as we expected. No. I think if that's a similar situation, I think the Packers will be in the game in the last drive.
And I think another important thing is, I think the most important thing is the way that they play in the red zone. Because I feel like the 49ers are a team that is designed to get into the red zone, and then it's up to you to stop them, right? Because they've got a good running game. They've got a good dinking and dunking passing game. So once they get with that short field, and there's not as much room for them to work, what can the Packers defense do? And I think luckily for the Packers, one thing they've been is a good red zone defense. And I don't know if the stats bear that out, but just the eyeballing of it, they've been able to hold teams in the red zone, I think, quite effectively. I could, stats could not, maybe don't bear that. I don't know, but they look good.
Well, watching the games, it's bend but don't break, right? Like, so
yeah.
Regardless of what the stats say, like in a game time situation, you trust them more than you would have in the past in terms of stopping somebody or holding them to a field goal.
So I don't want us to be alarmed as a fan base, though we will, when the Niners do. I don't want to say march down the field, but when they do, when they do have success against this team, because they're a good team, you have to play good teams. And if you can keep them out of the end zone, I'll take field goals all day because I trust Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, and Devontae Adams to get into the end zone. I'll take field goals for the Niners all day. And if that's what we see our defense holding them to, that's a great sign, especially on the road.
And if the Packers can hold the 49ers to 27 points, they have a good chance to win the game in this NFL.
I mean, I would like to see less. I'd say 20, 23. But yeah, I mean.
But I'm saying, like, in this NFL, if you hold them to 27, it's not out of the question to score 30 points.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like Chris said,
field goals.
Like Chris said, the Packers have really, the defense has really made their whole season off of just not giving up points in the red zone. And so yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I'll gladly give up 700 yards a game if they end up with 7 field goals.
Yeah, agreed. And They might give up 700 yards a game, but all that matters is what happens at the end in the scoreboard on the scoreboard. So we've kind of talked about this, but that was beautiful. Would you call this, James, a statement game for the Packers?
Yes. I don't think it's a must win. I agree with Kevin on that. I don't think apparently Kevin gassed himself out.
Spicy Italian sandwich for dinner.
I don't think this is a must win for the Packers. I think they can definitely afford to lose this one. I don't want them to. Nobody wants them to, but I think they can afford it. But if they win this, it is a statement because you're beating the number one team in the NFC. And you're showing the rest of the league, look, I really feel like Green Bay is getting a reputation, or from everything that I've seen, it's just Green Bay's like, nobody's talking about them as a successful team. They're just kind of like a fluke, and nobody's really giving them any respect. And I don't know how you can continue talking like that if they walk into San Francisco and beat the number one team in the NFC. It's really kind of bothered me how overlooked the Packers have been especially the last month or so. Nobody's talking about it.
Go ahead, Kev.
So I was going to say, I think nationally, Aaron Rodgers has lost a little sexiness. And so as a result, the Packers have lost a little bit of their luster nationally. Not necessarily that it's warranted, because I think that in context, Rodgers is having a great season because they're winning. But I think because it's not... I don't know, because I think we see a more controlled version of it, I guess. It's not as hyped up.
I still think he's sexy.
And James, what you said reminds me of something that famous philosopher Richard Flair said. Which is, want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Woo. I think that we are.
See, I call him Dick Flair. But
that's
Richard's good too.
All right. Let's before we go to break.
Episode titled Dick Flair.
Well, we'll see. Right now, that is the leader in the clubhouse. Before we go to break, we have our Hall of Fame OG patrons, these wonderful people who support us, and you too can support us by going to patreon.com/TTSO. You'll get all of our bonus shows where we say bad words and tell funny stories. And honestly, for $1 donation, this bonus show that we just recorded, I think is worth it. It was pretty damn funny. It was like an hour and a half long. We've got another one coming up soon. So throw us $1, get the bonus show. We'll love you, and we'll also announce your name on the show. Now, our OGs, those are people that have been with us a long time or donated a lot of money, and we love them. We love all of you, but we love them more. Kevin, tell us about them.
Right, like the kid who gets good grades in school. Would love him just a little bit more.
No,
okay.
That's bull, because you were always mom and dad's favorite.
Right, well, because I had potential to get good grades, Chris.
I had better grades, and they still love you more. Still.
Well, look at you. I mean, come on.
That's a good point.
Just kidding. I love you.
Got me.
All right. So in honor of National Television Day, which is what today is, apparently, I saw that somewhere and decided to go with it. Our first OG, Scott Neer. Scott was the one TV exec on the board during the late 70s and early 80s who said, no, Mork and Mindy is a terrible show. Our second OG, Jason Hicks.
Man, was he
Jason
wrong.
was the guy who invented the scrolling credits at the end of TV shows. He got the idea when he was working out and dropped his alphabet cereal while on the treadmill because the letters fell on the treadmill.
Yeah, but he was working out while eating alphabets?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as you do.
It's like an acaloric thing. If you eat enough of them and you walk enough, it burn. Yeah, it's science.
That's another episode title, an acaloric thing. All right. Anyway.
Okay, number 3, Milo Meadsong. Milo was originally cast as Ross on Friends, but he declined the role because of the show's lack of diversity. James Hamblin. James was once stranded on a remote island after being shipwrecked with some people he had just met. He was able to build himself a small radio using maths and some coconuts he found on the island. His incredible tale is, of course, the true life inspiration for the show Will and Grace. And finally, Chris, not Christopko or James Korsmo. Is everybody okay over there? You liked that one, didn't you?
that touched him somewhere.
Violet, you're turning violet.
Oh God, I almost passed out. I'm not kidding.
Question number 5. Chris, not Christopko or James Korsmo. So you guys probably didn't know this, but 96% of the teleprompters broadcasters used in the United States were made in China and purchased from China. So it's Chris's job to translate all the text from Chinese to English, so it's suitable for the American newscasters.
Tough job.
She is.
All right.
She's multilingual.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to go to break. I want to remind everybody when we come back from break, we'll give you details how you can be lucky enough to win this AJ Hawk authentic-ish Super Bowl 45 jersey. It's authentic because it comes from Goodwill in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's possible that AJ Hawk wore this. You can't prove that he didn't. And so that's what we're going with. We'll tell you after the break how you can win that. Hint, you got to be on Twitter. But other than that, all right. After the break, we're going to talk more about this 49ers game. And we've got some audio to explore from our trip, my trip to Green Bay. And I think you may enjoy it. If you don't, you can pound sand. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Did you know that you can help support our show financially without any additional cost to you? Well, if you use Amazon, and let's face it, who doesn't? You can go through our Amazon affiliate link, and we'll get a small portion of the proceeds. You pay nothing extra, and you still get your awesome stuff delivered in like 2 days. So go to www.titletownsoundoff.com/Amazon. You just order like you normally would, and you help the show. That's www.titletownsoundoff.com/Amazon. Happy shopping.
If you would like to support the show and help others find it, give us a review and a rating. Go to Apple Podcasts and write something nice and give us 5 stars. Thanks.
Sorry to say, if you're just joining us, you know, Kevin quit the show. And oh no, he's back. Oh, good. Packers at the 49ers this week. And before we talk more about those San Francisco 49ers, we have some other Hall of Famers that require mentioning, and we love them as well. James.
Yes. Kevin, this is the first time I think this has ever happened. But Kevin and I discovered similar facts about each other's patrons.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So the Hall of Fame patrons, we have Jeff Augustine. Now, not a lot of people know this. The show in the 80s was originally just called He. Jeff Augustine came along and said, it's incomplete. You got to add an ha. So they put the ha onto the he, and then there came hee haw. Paul Goldsack, heavy on the D and the sack. Not a lot of people know this. The show from was originally called Mediocre Days, and then he made it Happy Days.
It's a good marketing idea, yeah.
Well, I mean, it worked. Then there's Kyle Turpinning, who took American Idol. It was originally a fishing show, and he was like, "Dude, fishing, it has nothing to do with." And so he made it a singing show, and now we have Simon Cowell. So thank you, Kyle Turpinning. Nick Glenn once auditioned for America's Got Talent, and they kicked him off the stage because they didn't want to name the winner in episode 1. Then there's DJ Lightfoot, who DJ Lightfoot invented the wide world of sports. Before DJ Lightfoot, there was 3 sports. After him, there's like 20.
A wide world.
The whole wide world of it, and it's in his hands. Then there's Will Zine Savage, who he invented public access television. And before him, you had to literally, there was no way that you could watch guys in a basement playing guitar and singing about Wayne's World.
Thank you, James. So before we get back into the show, I want to remind everybody, you can win. You can be lucky enough and win this AJ Hawk men's large, verging on an extra large. Like, I put it on and I look like a sausage, but that's what you would expect from an extra large on me. So you can win this jersey, stitched and everything.
That was a handsome jersey.
It's actually, I mean, I make fun of it, but it is a nice jersey with the XLV patch on it. You can win that. All you have to do is tweet, "I am listening to the Titletown Sound," and tag us, the @Titletown Sound podcast. And they are, and we're not going to be like, we're not picky about just that general sentiment. And then say they are, and use an adjective, whatever adjective you choose, delicious, buttery, whatever you want. And then put hashtag TTSO. We will pick a winner, not next week, but the following week. All right. Not that many entries, even though, we have good Twitter following, but if you win, we will ship this jersey. I recommend you washing it before you wear it.
I wouldn't.
Especially after we ship it.
What if you wash out AJ Hawk stink?
So, gentlemen, there's something I want to share with you. I don't think I'm going to share the whole thing because it's 4 minutes long, but I accidentally did some research before the show tonight. And what I discovered was the 49ers had a fight song at one point. And there's a couple of things I noticed about it, but I'm going to play it for you. I don't know if you can make out all the words, but I'm going to play this fight song for you. And I want you to tell me if you think this will have any bearing on whether or not the Packers win on Sunday. Here it is.
We love the 49ers, our team is #1. We cheers from Montana, and friends all above. And while the team is playing, and lights are all aglow, it's like we are Toto and Chuck control. While our team is fighting for us, and the band begins to swing, our loyal fans will join the chorus, and you'll hear the Packers ring. When you hear the sound of thunder, and the wind begins to blow, time to stop and wonder, is the flying Joe. Let's sing the 49ers like a song, while we shout, go Golden Joe. Let's give a hand to Big Sky Joey.
It's
Another winning touchdown.
How many verses are in this thing?
Hold on. It goes instrumental.
49 song, and we're in the Super Bowl. We got the 49.
Oh, there's a third verse.
The band begins to play. We got the line and wide receiver, and we're hot to trot.
They're hot to trot.
This is so full of innuendo.
And the side has won the game.
And then we'll 69. And then here it goes instrumental. I mean,
the very first line of the song, they sing something about Joe Montana's buns, I think.
all right, I'm going to stop it. So there's so many observations I have about this. But Kevin, you look like you are about to jump through the screen.
this fight song does not do. There are some. There are some people who San Francisco has a reputation.
I don't know if I like where this is going.
I don't either.
I love the use of show tunes and football. It is perfect for that. It's a perfect fight song.
But so here's what I love about it: the genres of music that it combines. It's like, are we a march or are we a polka? Guess what? We're not going to decide. We're both.
You know the scene from? Are you familiar with the movie Blazing Saddles? At the very end, where they're in the movie, the theater or in this movie studio, and they're doing the big dance number, and like the big fight breaks out and it spills onto the streets. That sequence is what that song reminds me of. It's just a whole mess of spilling into the streets.
I got to question your fight song when it is really only about one player. I mean, there's a lot of Joe Montana in that.
It's like fan fiction, right? It's not really.
Here's what strikes me about that. Usually with those types of like fight songs, they were written in like 1918, right? That song was written about Joe Montana, who was a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers as recently as like 1994. Who was writing that in the 80s?
And there's some pretty explicit lyrics in there. I think they mentioned a hand job.
I think you may have misheard that, but
I swear to God, it says something about his buns. Line number 1. Joe Montana's buns.
They did say that they were hot to trot. So there's that. I'm trying to rewind it. If we get we can't. I don't think we can. I don't think my soundboard lets me do that. But I want to know if it's really about his buns. There's the fight song. In case you're wondering, what now? Here's what I ask you, those of you loyal listeners and disloyal listeners out there: what other Packers podcast brings you the opposing team's fight songs so you can have the full analysis for this week's game? None.
Mockery. Yeah, that's right.
None. So, all right. What the hell else are we supposed to talk about? Oh, so I was lucky enough to get because we were short on content this week. I was lucky enough to get a text from my sister just before the show, and she sent me an article from now. It's my sister, but she sends me an article from brobible.com. I don't know if you guys take Bro Bible every week. Do you subscribe? I go to copy myself.
I go to Bro Bible Study every Wednesday night.
Well, I wasn't going to read it, but the Gideons keep dropping it off at my house. So.
I want to get the Bro Watchtower is what I want to get.
There was a bomb there.
All right. So the 49ers, this is what the article talks about. The 49ers are the best NFC team right now, record-wise at 9-1. The Packers are at 8-2. This is the 5th time since 2007 that teams with 2 or fewer losses have met this late in the season. So it doesn't happen all that often. So this is a big deal. One of the reasons it got flexed to Sunday night. Now, here's the thing. The last 2 times this has happened, 2015 when the Broncos beat the Patriots, and 2013 when the Seahawks beat the Saints. Both of those teams won the Super Bowl. So is this game a direct predictor of the Super Bowl champion? Kevin, go.
I think it's a very good predictor of the NFC champion. But I think the AFC is going to be a tricky competitor this year in the Super Bowl.
I think you're wrong because I think the AFC is a paper tiger. James, what do you think?
I agree with you on the AFC. I think other than actually, yeah, I think the AFC is not that very good.
The Ravens are very good.
The Ravens are very good, yes. But
pains me to say.
Whatever. That's a cool stat, actually, and
you can thank Bro Bible and my sister Caitlin.
Well, thanks, Caitlin and the Bible of Bros. If if the Packers win, then yes, I think it's true, and if they lose, it's a bunch of bull.
Nice. That's a good analysis. Christian Esparza checks in and says, "Hi guys, popping in on real quick during work. Don't tell my boss." And should have said that. Go Pack. That was not Christian. That was
Don't tell my
Ralph.
bossy wife that I did this.
That was Ralph. It wasn't Christian.
Ralph.
Yeah, I think this is a good predictor. I think you're right, Kevin. Good predictor of the NFC champion, and a good predictor of who wins the Super Bowl. That's if the Packers win. If not, like James.
Chris, can I just say real quick? Your
You can say
microphone is blocking your R, so your shirt just says "Elax." There you go. Just to confirm that you're wearing a relax shirt.
It's super awkward.
At one point, I was blocking the R and the E, so it just said lax, and I had to go take a crap.
I just crap myself. Yeah. All right. So the next thing I want to go over, I want to talk about is I have my audio from when I went to. So apparently, as I drink and get drunker, I record more things. I was going to include everything, but there were some things that gave me douche chills so powerful that I got douche hypothermia. So I did
douche hypothermia. Wow, that only happens on a winter's night.
But I want to play some clips from the game, and most of these are from the fourth quarter. By the way, I don't remember doing this, but I basically filmed the entire fourth quarter because I was slosh.
Roger Goodell's gonna sue you blind.
So I've got some things to talk about, though. I got some things to play, but the first thing is not from the game. It's from the day before. It is from Kroll's during that miserable experience I talked about on the bonus show. So here you go. All right, we're at Kroll's. We've been waiting 40 minutes. I thought it was a picture. It's a video. It's a video. So now do you understand why James hates this place?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I just want to let you know. So first of all, that's like a baseline also. Like when you do a lie detector test, like the first question they ask you, is your name Chris Christofko? Then you say yes. It's a baseline test. This is also
really?
like a
Chris Christofko? That's a stupid name.
This is a baseline so you can hear me sober as well. So you can get the difference, right? So that's me complaining about Kroll's. Now at the game, as I explained on the bonus show, my amazing wife bought me a quality hat. It's a beauty. It's and in fact, have I showed it on the show, guys?
I don't think so, and I want to see it again. So please,
all right, stamp for me. I'm gonna go grab it.
Thank God. I hate that hat. It's so dumb. I'm so tired of hearing about it.
I'm colorblind, so I don't even know what color it is.
It's aquamarine.
I am not. I was just joking.
But you know, I mean, it's just so stupid. Anyway, as I was saying, what a fantastic hat! Like I love it. Like it's amazing.
And he does not look like a crayon. Never mind, I won't.
This is the hat she bought me. I love this hat. So I also loved it.
What's the pattern that goes around the top there?
Looks like
it's like a specific holiday pattern.
I really do legitimately love that hat, like more than I should.
And the beauty of this hat is the fleece lined hat. It is
not like
I don't wear a coat. I just wear this hat. Work shirt, this hat.
Do you wear the right?
I wear pants.
Where do you put your arms?
So this is anyway. This is when I received the hat. I thought it was important to record this clip. And remember when I sounded like sober? Here you go. This is my beautiful wife, Amanda, and she bought me this hat. And it's amazing. And she's amazing. And I'm drunk, but whatever. What are you gonna do? So there you go. You can begin to hear the difference, I imagine.
This is like phase one of the change.
Now, James, you saw me at the tailgate.
I did.
I got S-faced at the tailgate, and I was very lucky to. I'm going to be quite frank. I was very lucky to make it through the game with the volume of drinking I did at the tailgate. But as the game went on, it got a little worse. So this. I don't remember what was happening at this point. I should have labeled the clips better, but I think you'll probably remember from the game. But here we go. This is me asking Amanda for analysis during the game. Here we are in the snow. What do you have to add?
Call verse.
Culver's after the game.
I
Amanda,
agree.
You sound like a sober Pat Summerall.
Amanda was also S-faced. Those vodka lemonades hit her well. Okay. Do you gentlemen remember when there were like 2 timeouts called back to back during the game?
Yes.
Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I had a little issue with that.
Another timeout?
That's like 2 timeouts. I'm going to urinate myself if there's a timeout called, just for the record. How are you doing?
No.
Don't tickle me. I'll pee myself. What do you think? No? Or dog are called. Okay. So it comes a lot to unpack. So my Panthers fan friend Chris threatened to tickle me while I had to pee. But also, I've also learned that when I'm drunk, I say "for the record" as if I am a TV lawyer. I say "for the record," and also the "my dog's balls are cold" story. I don't know why I bleeped it. That story we told on a bonus show. I'm not going to retell it, but it's a fantastic story, so you should pay for them. Okay, so that was only clip number 3 of 8. Okay, so there was a call that I believe I did not agree with. Again, this is all fourth quarter at this point, so here we go. Oh, this was the offsides call that extended the drive for the Panthers, I believe. I believe it was a 4th down. Packers stopped them. There was an offsides. Am I making that up? Or is that okay? Right, so here we go. Let's get my analysis on it.
Why offsides defense? Face.
What?
You suck face.
Did he say "you suck face"?
I think he meant you suck face. Like it was two separate things. I mean, we weren't making out at the time, so I don't think he meant that I suck face.
That's encroachment.
But illegal touching.
But I was more upset than that, guys, because I thought that was an egregious. Now, granted, the call occurred 200 yards from me, and it was in the snow. But I thought it was egregious, and as a result, I asked those of you listening to take action. I urge you to call the commissioner's office because that is clearly a bullshit call. That's not my.
Can I just say, as an NFL owner, I disagree with that, and my views do not represent the views of those.
So you can see how the game progressed for me. And James, you were worried we wouldn't be able to fill the whole show.
This is great.
Is video 8 just like 6 minutes of you vomiting into the toilet in the hotel?
I did not hurl that night. All right, this is number 6. I have it labeled "crying out loud," and I'm not quite sure what it references, but here we go. 4 seconds left. 4 seconds. It's second down and 2 to go. On the 2, for crying out the goddamn loud. You all right, James?
Go on without me.
Don't let go, Jack.
I know. For crying out there.
The best part is when I edit it, all of this is going into a vlog that will go up on our YouTube page. Yeah. Okay. So, last play of the game, Christian McCaffrey tries to get into the end zone, fails, and they review the call. I believe this next clip is me offering my commentary on that situation. They are reviewing the play, which is total bull. Because clearly, if you're an American who loves freedom, you understand that. Wait,
Stand and cheer for the Panther.
yeah. I thought I don't know what I thought. I think I just was drunk. That's my guess.
What was your first clue?
Doubtful.
So I was not in favor of the review. I thought that for some reason it was an unjust situation. Looking back on it, I don't. It might not have been that unjust, but you drink enough beer and you think that. All right, last one. The last one.
I don't know if I can handle another one.
This is number 8. This is after, I believe, we found out that he did not get into the end zone. There's no way he got into the end zone.
That's what she said.
That doesn't make any sense at this point. Oh, the Panthers fans all of a sudden believe that some sort of miracle happened.
Like the 1980 hockey team.
He didn't get in. Nope. He didn't get in. There's no way. Now, mind you, there was a way. And I was also watching this on the scoreboard again from 150 yards away. Turned out I was right. But, well, I want to thank you all for indulging me and listening to the audio of me in the fourth quarter after about 40 beers-ish. Kevin, anything to add?
I do like the natural progression from stone cold sober and angry at Kroll's to elated and drunk as a skunk in fourth quarter.
James, you okay?
Yeah, I'm better now. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you standing by me in this difficult time.
All right. Let's see what else we have to do. We have to do our games. But before that, we do have one voicemail this week. Late breaking voicemail. In fact, it came in during the show. The first time I've ever put a voicemail on the air that I have not reviewed.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here we go.
Hello. This is DJ Kotler. Definitely not Iron Sheik. And I would like to go to your audience and ask them for money because I have retired from the NFL to take up professionally banging my wife. I would like, currently, I have made much money in the NFL to help me afford 2 houses. And this is not enough. I need a 3rd house to bang my wife in. So if you would like to help me, Jack Kotler, because that is who I am, please go to one of my fundraising sites and help me to raise the money that I need to do this. You can go to what is the name of the funding site? The shit starter. Go fuck me. And, all of the great funding sites you can go to help me, Jack Kotler, and definitely not Iron Sheik, and help me bang my wife in a 3rd house. And that is it. Okay, bye.
That was
That face hurt.
definitely not the Iron Sheik.
Oh, my God. Jay Cutler sounds a lot like Miss Piggy if she went to Iran.
That I think I made the right choice.
Oh, my God.
In playing that voicemail, sight unseen or voice unheard or whatever. Thank you, Jay Cutler, for calling in to the Titletown Sound podcast. All right, we do not have a David Bakhtiari 69 of the week because we don't have statistics this week. Next week we will return with our 69 of the week. But I also forgot to load. So what I'm doing is I'm talking now. and trying to waste time because I forgot to load the audio for our next segment. It rarely happens, but I think I'm being pretty smooth right now. But our next segment,
nobody noticed,
is true or false, and we're gonna go to Kevin for that.
True or false, true or false, true or false, true or false. It's time to play true or false.
All right, Kevin, take it away.
It is time indeed to play true or false. James,
yeah,
you're going to get the first question here this week because
okay.
Your name popped into my head first.
Well, that makes me feel good.
It should. Question number 1. The San Francisco 49ers come into Sunday night with 49 numbers in their team name. True or false? Following the game on Sunday, one Packer, any player, will have exactly as many yards necessary to fulfill David Bakhtiari's 69 of the week next week when combined with San Francisco's team name.
That's really freaking complicated. So
it just means one Packer player is going to get 20 yards. It could be
exactly 20 yards.
When the end of the game is over, it could be 21. It has to be 20 total yards or
somewhere. It could be return yards. It could be
punt yards. Yes.
False. I'm going to go false. There's so many other numbers. It's got to be false.
Yes. That would be what a wise man would answer. Chris, what would you say?
I really want to roll the dice here. You know what? I believe in the 69 of the week, so I'm going to say true.
All right. I like it. I am going to say false because it's
really
statistically.
Right.
Yeah. But I like your answer, Chris. I wish I had the
but hold on. Now, like if Aaron Rodgers has 20 rushing yards, that counts.
Play your odds.
Yeah. Yes. If he has 20 rushing yards, yes.
Right.
But if he, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Carry on.
All right. Question number 2. In 2013, then Eastern Illinois Panthers signal caller Jimmy Garoppolo lost in the FCS quarterfinals to my alma mater, Towson University. In that game, Garoppolo threw for 321 yards. True or false? Against the Packers, Garoppolo, easy for me to say, will throw for less than 321 yards. James, what do you think?
True.
Okay.
Yeah, they're heavily on their rushing game, and he's not a big play quarterback. True.
I agree. I just obviously that question was a little bit geared, a little self-serving there. Also, Jason Hicks's is alma mater.
Hicks's.
That's the correct pronunciation. Question number 3. Chris, I'm going to start with you this time. And Chris, you're going first for the last 3 questions, Chris.
Beauty. Let's go.
I feel like I've kind of neglected you here on this.
Let's do this.
Version of True or False. All right, question number 3. Through 10 games, the 49ers have sacked opposing quarterbacks 39 times. 39 times.
Okay.
True or false? Aaron Rodgers will be sacked at least 3 times against San Francisco.
At least 3 times. So through how many games now?
Through 10 games, we're averaging about 4 sacks a game.
You know what? So at least 3? I'm going to say the offensive line has a hell of a game, and that's false.
Okay. What do you think, James?
I'm going to say false as well.
All right. And, guys, it's obvious that if he wanted to get sacked in San Francisco, he could as many times as he wanted. But I think it's going to be less than 3 times.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Well, because he doesn't take a lot of risks this season. You notice that how he's been taking sacks when he gets pressured. Been doing it a lot on 3rd downs. So I'm thinking that in this particular game, a similar situation could arise. He's not gonna force it downfield. This defense is too good. He's gonna take sacks early and often if he has to. He's gonna take it for the team.
Well, good for him.
Was that real analysis or was that innuendo analysis? I'm not sure.
In your endo.
I hate you so much. Did I don't even remember. Let's go. Next question.
Was that not the last one? Jeez. Okay.
I don't know.
That was only 3. Jeez. Question number 4. Chris. Jimmy Garoppolo has thrown 10 interceptions this season. True or false? The Packers will intercept at least one Garoppolo pass.
True.
James, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think they get. I feel like they're getting multiple this game. I'm gonna go yes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like one is probably what we should be shooting for here. But if they get multiple, great. Number 5. The 49ers, they are the second best team in the league when it comes to rushing the football. 149 yards per game. True or false? The Niners will equal or surpass that average this week against the Packers. Chris, what do you think?
Read the first part of that question again.
The 49ers are the second best team in the league when it comes to rushing the ball.
Okay.
149 yards per game. True or false? They will get at least 149 yards against the Packers.
I'm going to say true because they're going to focus on the run, but I think that stat's a little deceptive because their average isn't that fantastic. But anyway, yep, I'm going to say they do get that yards. True.
James, what about you? What do you think?
I think it's going to happen too. I'm going to say true.
All right. Well, I am going to say false because I don't know. I just like to type other letters.
All right. I have a special addition to true or false tonight. Kevin, close your true false document, please. Got it closed?
Yes.
Okay. This is only for James. James, you can choose right now to take a bonus true or false question. If you get it correct, you will get 2 points. However, if you get it incorrect, you will get negative 2 points. Do you accept the challenge? This is this will be answered instantly.
Take it. Do it.
Oh, look. Of course I'm going to do it. Let's go.
All right. True or false? Kevin, after writing all the true false questions, can spell Garoppolo correctly.
False.
Kevin, please spell Garoppolo.
Geez, this is actually the funny thing is you told me to close my document. That would not help me because I have it spelled incorrectly every single time. It's different and incorrect every time. Okay, Garoppolo. Jimmy. Garapalo.
That
Garoppolo.
is wrong. That's as wrong as possible. James, 2 bonus points. The correct answer is Garoppolo. You literally chose the wrong letter every time.
No, I got the first 3 correct.
Once you got into the Mississippi of his name, it kind of works out from there. Yeah.
All right, so that
I do want to add that the Towson Tigers that year, 2013, were fueled by star running back Terrence West, who fizzled out in the NFL and had some issues with the law.
He might be in prison.
Jermon Bushrod was not on that team.
True or false is now over.
I fat fingered that one, but it is over. I think that's like getting played off the stage at the Emmys.
That was I deserve that.
All right, so here's our final segment of the game of the show. It is time for our last game. It is Spread 'em. Shout out to David Bobke in the chat who recorded this for us.
Go on ahead and spread them.
I guess technically he recorded it for himself. He was on the show at the time. But that might be my favorite clip that we have. Kevin, what exactly is the spread this week?
Well, this week and every week, the spread is the expected gap. And the San Francisco 49ers are favored to win this game by 3 points.
So essentially, what Vegas is telling us is they think this is a very even matchup because it's on the road for the Packers and they're only 3-point underdogs. I'll go first. I am going to go with the Scott Neer school of picking, and I will take the Packers. I don't know why. Maybe because of all the empty beers over there, but I think this is going to be a huge win for the Packers on Sunday night, and I hate to have to wait that long.
James, what do you think?
I'm not going to break my strategy, which is always betting against the Packers, so I'm going with San Francisco.
All right, and my strategy is to go against you guys, but because you guys split, and because the spread is exactly 3, I'm going to say push. No, I'm going to go with the Packers. Why not?
I'll allow you to say push, and that's a 3-game win if you're correct.
Well, the problem with a push is that that's not the desired outcome. So
I'll just put it out there. I'm all about changing the games.
If you haven't really noticed, I'm not super interested in winning, so I'm going to go with the Packers.
All right, right choice then. All right, gentlemen, we are almost 67 minutes into this show, and who thought we couldn't get enough content, despite the fact that it was a bye week? I am super excited about this game. I think this is going to be a fun one. And a chance for the Packers to, like you said, James, I think assert themselves as one of the better teams in the NFC. I mean, not everyone knows they're one of the better teams in the NFC, but really a premier team, because I think you're right. They're getting overlooked, and that's okay, because you don't have to be touted to win the Super Bowl. Anyway, remember, you can win this lovely AJ Hawk jersey if you just tweet that you are listening to the Titletown Sound podcast and that we are blank. Use your own adjective, hashtag TTSO, and win that jersey. Kevin, what do you got?
I've played Mad Libs with a lot of people before. An adjective is like a describing word.
Correct.
Just in case you're embarrassed.
You could call us saucy, delicious, repugnant. I'm just offering you some choices for
briny.
Oh, good one. That's a beauty. James, what do you got?
If you have made it 69 minutes into this thing,
Nice.
Congratulations, you win the prize, which everybody wins in the 69 in that situation. Tweet us the word extrapolate.
That's
because
like
I like that word.
We're gonna get some misspellings. I like that. I feel like extrapolate and Garoppolo would go well in a sentence together.
Yeah, I mean, you could extrapolate that Garoppolo is a difficult name to spell based on how Kevin does it.
That's true. All right, folks. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. We will be back probably on a regular schedule of Tuesdays next week, now that the bye week is over. We got a Sunday night game, guys. It's going to be a fun one. Join us on our Facebook page. We don't mention this enough, but we have a Facebook group. Search TTSO Packers Talk. Join our group, and we have a lot of fun on game days. It's also pinned on our Facebook page, so if you're looking for that, that's how you can find us. We always have a game day thread, and it's very active and always very positive. No negativity at all in that thread.
I mean, it's very positive unless the defense gives up 6 to 7 yards.
But it's like a micro. I mean, it's Twitter's worse. But it's a fun group to be in. Please join us there. Like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, become a patron, buy our album, all of those things. Come to our live show. We don't have one of those. But we really
have I told you about these oils that I'm selling?
We'll be back next week to talk about the then 9-2 Green Bay Packers.
And San Francisco 49ers.
What? Oh.
No.
What? No, they'll both be 9-2, right?
They'll both be 9-2. Yeah.
But the Packers will have one game in hand. All right, we're running out of time. The music is almost over. Have a good week. See you next week. Go Pack Go. Take off your pants. preceding podcast was a production of Productions Institute LLC, copyright 2019, all rights reserved. Don't steal our crap.